Lots to cover today. Yeah, quite a mix. We've got that viral clip of Illinois Governor JB Pritzker, then a really big one, Vance, and this whole digital encryption battle with the UK. We'll also hit President Trump's comments on Gavin Newsom, some big pop culture news with Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce getting engaged, and the reaction to that, plus the National Guard being visible in D.C., and finally, something pretty serious, Matt Walsh digging into these illegal immigration numbers that, well, seem suspiciously static.
Exactly. The goal here is to give you the clear picture, the facts behind the headlines, and why this stuff actually matters. So let's get started. Okay, first up from the briefing, this moment with Illinois Governor JB Pritzker. It definitely got people talking online, so picture this. Pritzker's at a podium, clearly aiming for a political punch. And he says right into the cameras, "I live rent-free in the president's head. I wish he would spend some time in Chicago so he can see what a lovely city we have." You know, pretty standard political jab.
But then the timing. Oh man, the cameraman, maybe intentionally, maybe not, just pans right over to Trump Tower, literally right next door. And someone online commented, described it as the funniest thing I've seen all month. Which, yeah, it kind of was. That visual just completely, instantly deflated the whole boast.
It really shows you, doesn't it? Forget the words sometimes. That one camera move, planned or not, just changed the whole meaning, turned it into this, like, public cell phone. Funny, but it also says something about how perception works.
Totally. Visuals are powerful.
Okay, so that's visual irony, but shifting gears.
Yeah.
Let's talk about something with much bigger, maybe more serious implications. This item in the briefing about J.D. Vance and iPhone encryption. This sounds like a major behind-the-scenes fight over your digital privacy.
It absolutely was. So rewind to early 2025, the UK government decides to use its Snoopers Charter. Basically legislation that gives them, well, pretty broad powers to force tech companies to break their own encryption systems.
And Apple was the main target here.
Yeah, they were square in the crosshairs. The UK government had a specific and frankly pretty shocking demand.
Which one?
They wanted Apple to build a backdoor into iCloud. Now, get this, it wasn't just for accessing data of UK citizens. No, this backdoor would let the UK government potentially access any user's data.
Any user, like worldwide.
All 1.5 billion Apple users worldwide. Think about that. One government having a potential key to essentially everyone's digital life stored on iCloud. It's huge.
Wow. And the report mentions some pretty harsh penalties if Apple refused.
Oh, yeah. Brutal. We're talking potential fines of £10 million per day, plus the possibility of Apple executives facing 2-year prison sentences. They even mentioned potential criminal prosecution. The pressure was immense.
So what did Apple do? What did Tim Cook say?
Well, Cook stood firm. He was defiant, really, considering the stakes. His public stance was crystal clear. We refuse to build a backdoor that would weaken security for every one of our customers worldwide. He framed it as a fundamental security issue.
Was it just Apple pushing back, or did other big tech companies see the danger too?
No, Apple wasn't alone on this one. You had WhatsApp, Google, Microsoft, Signal, Telegram. They all opposed the order. They all understood the basic dangerous truth about backdoors.
Which is?
Once you create one, you can't really control it. It's like leaving a key under the mat. You might intend it for the police, but criminals can find it too. It inherently weakens security for everyone.
And there's history here, right? This isn't just a theoretical risk.
Exactly. The report mentioned the NSA's dual ECDRBG backdoor from back in 2013. That was basically a flawed security algorithm the NSA itself pushed.
Intended for government use, I assume.
Right. But guess what? Hackers found it and exploited it for years to spy on encrypted communications. It proved the point. Every backdoor, no matter the intention, becomes a vulnerability that will be exploited.
So the standoff continued. Apple actually pulled encryption features for its 20 million UK users, right?
Mm-hmm.
Neither side was blinking.
Yeah, it was escalating, a real mess for privacy. But then enter J.D. Vance. And his background here is pretty interesting, not your typical politician's resume when it comes to tech.
What was it?
Well, before politics, he worked at Peter Thiel's venture capital firm, Mithril Capital. He'd invested in tech companies like Affirm and Devoted Health. So he had this sort of inside baseball understanding of Silicon Valley, encryption, digital security, stuff most politicians, frankly, don't grasp on that level.
And as VP, he saw this wasn't just about Apple versus the UK.
Precisely. He understood the bigger picture. If a major democratic ally like the UK could force a tech giant to build a backdoor, what stops China or Russia or any other country. It would open the floodgates and put American citizens' data at risk everywhere. It was a global precedent.
So he got personally involved.
He did.
Yeah.
The report cites U.S. officials saying he was personally involved in negotiating a deal. He didn't just delegate. He worked directly with President Trump and DNI Tulsi Gabbard for months.
That was the message to the UK?
Pretty direct from what we gather. Basically that America wouldn't tolerate its citizens' data being exposed. He used both diplomatic channels and, crucially, his technical understanding to argue why breaking encryption was so dangerous, not just for Apple, but for global security, for everyone.
And the outcome. This is the surprising part.
Totally surprising. After months of this high-stakes negotiation, the UK completely backed down, just folded. August 2025.
And the report highlights this as a first, right?
Yeah.
A Western democracy retreating on forcing a backdoor after the U.S. stepped in like this.
Exactly. A major reversal. Apple then restored the encryption features for UK users. User privacy worldwide, essentially, dodged a huge bullet.
So what's the big takeaway here?
It really shows how combining deep expertise, Vance's tech understanding, with real political influence and power can achieve things that even massive corporations like Apple couldn't do alone. Silicon Valley had the arguments, but Vance brought the leverage. It kind of redefines how these global tech policy battles can be fought and won, especially when fundamental rights like privacy are on the line.
A significant victory for privacy, then. The briefing also included some lighter moments, specifically President Trump's thoughts on Gavin Newsom.
Yeah, always interesting to hear his take. He apparently called Newsom a nice guy, looks good, did a little impression, "Hi, everybody, how you doing?"
Classic Trump.
But then he added, "Some strange hand action going on. It's a little weird, to be honest. A little something shaky going on there." The report even added a laughing emoji to that part.
Right. It's that observational, slightly teasing style, isn't it?
Yeah.
He often picks up on these small physical details. It's less about policy, more about painting this memorable, maybe slightly off-kilter picture of his opponents. It's a communication tactic, really.
Okay, from political observations to huge pop culture news, the briefing confirms it. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are engaged. That's massive news.
Absolutely huge. The kind of thing that just takes over the internet for a bit.
And the report picked up on one viral comment that seemed to capture the feeling perfectly. Your English teacher and your gym teacher are getting married. Huh. That's pretty good, actually. It's relatable, right?
Really. It taps into that kind of high school nostalgia almost. It makes this global superstar couple feel, I don't know, almost down to earth in a funny way.
Yeah, and beyond the fun of it, an engagement like this between two such massive figures from different worlds, pop music and the NFL, it does have a cultural ripple effect. It becomes this shared public moment.
And the media reaction was pretty intense too, right? The briefing mentioned a CBS reporter, Olivia Rinaldi.
Oh, yeah. Apparently she had a total freak out when she heard the news. Said she felt like Paul Revere right now, spreading the word.
And she was caught on camera saying OMG like 10 times.
10 times. Yeah, it just shows that immediate, unfiltered excitement. And the report kind of summed up that energy with the comment, marriage rates are about to skyrocket.
A bit tongue-in-cheek maybe, but it captures that aspirational buzz these things create. Okay, moving from pop culture excitement to something more grounded and maybe reassuring for folks in D.C. The briefing noted the presence of armed National Guardsmen in the Smithsonian Metro Station.
Right. And the immediate reported effect was pretty straightforward. Keeping order and causing essentially everybody around them to feel safer.
It's about that visible presence, isn't it?
Exactly. It provides a tangible sense of security. People see it, and it changes the atmosphere.
And the assessment in the report was very positive, called it a great sight to see. Amazing optics, but horrible news for criminals.
Yeah, that phrase, horrible news for criminals, sums it up well. It's about visible deterrence. When you have that clear presence of authority, it sends a strong message. It reassures people going about their day and makes potential lawbreakers think twice. It's a visual commitment to public safety.
A welcome sight for many, I'm sure. Okay, finally, let's tackle this last major item from the briefing. It's about Matt Walsh and his claims regarding illegal immigration statistics. This one seems pretty important.
It really does. Walsh's core argument is, well, pretty explosive. He's saying that the number we've heard repeated constantly for years, 11 million illegal aliens in America, is basically fake.
Fake how?
He calls it unquestionably, obviously fraudulent because, and this is the key point, that number hasn't significantly changed in over 2 decades, despite, everything we see and hear about border crossings and demographic changes.
And the report lays out the timeline for this static number.
Yeah, it does. Walsh points to specific examples, like Pew Research Center back in 2005, nearly 11 million. Okay. Then, fast forward to 2013, a PBS News report estimated 11 million. Still there.
Then 2017.
Right, some politician talking about legalizing 11 million undocumented people. And, incredibly, the report notes that 4 years after that, the current administration was still using a figure around 11.4 million, and specifically stated there was no update to that number.
Wow. So for 20 years, essentially the same number, despite everything.
That's Walsh's point. He concludes it's a complete farce. He argues, and this is his framing, that the number is deliberately kept static.
Why? What's the alleged purpose?
He claims it's intended to obscure just how much demographic replacement, that's the term he uses, has actually taken place in this country in the past 3 decades. Essentially, by keeping the number low and unchanging, the true scale of illegal immigration is hidden from the public. He says, and it worked. No one really has any idea how many illegal aliens are in this country. That's by design.
Pretty stunning accusation. And the report itself seemed to agree strongly.
Yeah, the briefing echoed Walsh very directly, stating, they have been literally lying to us for decades. That's a powerful charge against the sources of official information.